Welcome to LB's Ideas Connected, the official podcast from Lino Bureau, where we explore the fascinating world of innovation, consumer goods, and technology. I'm Professor Leila Malta, and each episode, we'll be sharing insights and perspectives on how these forces are shaping our world, from the products we use to the way we live. Let's deep dive together into innovation, consumer goods, technology, and much more.
Hi, we are Brad and Lilly, and we are the digital hosts of LB's Ideas Connected podcast. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of packaging. You know, that often overlooked but pretty essential element of every product we buy.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a stack of research here, including some insights from Professor Leila Malta, a respected voice in innovation and consumer goods, particularly in Latin America. And our mission today is to kind of unpack how packaging has evolved from, a simple container to this sophisticated communication tool in our increasingly tech-driven world.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
It is. You wouldn't think packaging has such a rich history, but it's actually fascinating to see how its role has transformed over time.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we often take packaging for granted, but it's gone through a remarkable journey. It started with the basics, of course, storage and portioning, just to make distribution and sales possible.
Right, the foundation.
Exactly. But then things got more interesting. Packaging became a way to identify the origin of a product, communicate its weight or volume, and even highlight its benefits. To stand out from the competition, it started telling a story.
Yeah, like a label saying made in Italy.
Okay.
It adds a certain cachet to a product, even if it's just pasta sauce.
Right.
It's not just about what's inside anymore. It's about the image.
Yeah.
And the associations the packaging evokes.
Exactly. And then globalization happened, and suddenly traceability and health information became paramount. Consumers wanted to know where their products came from and what impact they had on their well-being. So this added a whole new layer of complexity to packaging design.
It's interesting how packaging had to adapt to these changing consumer demands. It's like it became a bridge between the product and the increasingly informed consumer.
It did. And then came what some call the 4.0 evolution, or Industry 4.0, which essentially means the integration of digital technologies into manufacturing and every other industry you can think of. And this is where packaging took a giant leap forward. Smartphones, QR codes, augmented reality, all these tools became part of the packaging landscape, turning it into an interactive experience.
Okay, so we've gone from simple containers to talking packages. That's quite a transformation. But how do companies actually make this shift towards high-tech packaging without breaking the bank? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is a challenge, especially when you consider that many companies, even today, see packaging as an afterthought. Professor Malta points out that it's common for product development to focus heavily on the formulation, leaving packaging decisions to the last minute.
Yeah, I've seen that happen firsthand. It's like they pour all their resources into creating this amazing product, and then it's like, oh, right, we need a box for this.
Exactly. And that approach can lead to missed opportunities. When packaging is integrated into the product development process from the start, you can achieve much more effective and cost-efficient solutions.
So it was all about breaking down those silos between departments and having the formulation and packaging teams work together from day one.
Absolutely. A collaborative approach is key to maximizing both the functionality and the appeal of the packaging, while keeping costs in check.
Okay, so let's say a company wants to implement some of these cool new technologies we've been talking about. QR codes, augmented reality, maybe even RFID tags for tracking. Where did they even begin?
Well, one of the biggest hurdles is often the perceived cost of these technologies. Companies might think, oh, RFID is too expensive, we can't afford that. But that's where a strategic approach to cost management comes in.
So it's not just about blindly throwing money at the latest tech. It's about being smart and finding ways to integrate it within your existing budget.
Precisely. And one of the most effective ways to do that is to take a holistic view of the entire product system, from formulation to packaging. You might be surprised how much cost space you could free up by optimizing both sides of the equation.
Give me an example. How would that work in practice?
Okay, so imagine a company wants to add RFID tags to their secondary packaging for export monitoring. But they're worried about the added cost. Instead of immediately assuming it's not feasible, they should start by analyzing their product formulation.
Okay, interesting.
Could they perhaps adjust the dosage of a certain ingredient, maybe switch to a slightly less expensive alternative without compromising quality? Even small tweaks to the formulation can create significant savings. That can then be allocated to the new packaging technology.
So it's like a balancing act. You're finding ways to optimize the formulation, to offset the cost of the new packaging features.
Exactly. And it's not just about cutting costs. It's about finding that sweet spot where you can maintain product quality, enhance functionality with new technology, and still stay within your budget.
That makes sense. It's a more strategic and sustainable approach in the long run.
Absolutely. And this principle applies to sustainability as well. Companies often shy away from eco-friendly packaging options because they assume they'll be too expensive. But again, it's about looking at the whole picture.
So finding ways to incorporate sustainable materials without driving up the overall cost.
Precisely. It might involve tweaking the formulation, exploring alternative suppliers, or even rethinking the entire packaging design. The key is to approach it as a collaborative challenge, involving teams from across the company, formulation, packaging, commercial, financial, to find the most innovative and cost-effective solutions.
It sounds like Professor Malta's emphasis on collaboration is really key here. It's not just about one department making decisions in isolation. It's about everyone working together to achieve a common goal.
Absolutely. And when you have that kind of synergy, you can achieve remarkable things. Not only can you implement cutting-edge technologies and sustainable practices, but you can also create packaging that truly enhances the consumer experience.
Okay, so we've talked about the historical evolution of packaging, the rise of connected packaging, and the importance of cost management and collaboration when adopting new technologies. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the future of packaging. Where do you see this all going?
Well, the future of packaging is incredibly exciting. You know, it's becoming more than just a container. It's evolving into this interactive platform that connects brands with consumers in entirely new ways.
So we're talking about packaging that goes beyond just protecting and presenting a product. It's about adding value and enhancing the consumer experience.
Exactly. Think about packaging that can track the freshness of food in real time, alerting consumers when it's nearing its expiration date. Or packaging that uses augmented reality to provide interactive product demos or recipes. The possibilities are endless.
It's like packaging that's becoming an extension of the product itself, adding functionality and personalization.
Right. And let's not forget about sustainability. We're seeing a growing movement toward packaging made from bioplastics, compostable materials, and even edible films.
Edible packaging. That's fascinating. So you could literally eat the wrapper your food came in.
That's the idea. It's still early days. But there are some innovative companies out there exploring these options. Imagine a snack bar wrapped in a thin flavored film that dissolves in your mouth. No waste, just pure enjoyment.
That's amazing. It seems like the future of packaging is all about finding creative solutions that are good for the planet and good for the consumer.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the materials, it's about the design as well. Packaging will become increasingly intelligent, using sensors and data to optimize everything, from storage and transportation to recycling and reuse.
So we're talking about packaging that's not only sustainable, but also incredibly smart and efficient.
Right. And all of this will be driven by a deeper understanding of consumer needs and preferences. Packaging will become more personalized, offering tailored information promotions and even entertainment based on individual profiles.
It sounds like the line between packaging and technology is blurring, creating this seamless, integrated experience for the consumer.
Exactly. Packaging is no longer a static element. It's a dynamic platform that's constantly evolving to meet the demands of a rapidly changing world.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of packaging, I think the key takeaway is that it's an industry ripe for innovation. It's a field where creativity, technology, and sustainability intersect to create solutions that benefit both businesses and consumers.
I couldn't agree more. And if you're interested in exploring these trends further, particularly in the Latin American market, I highly recommend checking out Professor Leila Malta's work. She's a true thought leader in this space.
Absolutely. Her research offers valuable insights into the intersection of innovation, consumer goods, and technology. And for our listeners out there, we encourage you to keep those ideas connected. What innovations in packaging do you envision in the near future? How might they further transform our interactions with products? Let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those ideas flowing.
Thanks for staying with us. And check other episodes in our podcast series, LB's Ideas Connected. You can also connect with us through our website, www.linobureau.com.